special occasions like Fridays and Mondays.
Only wear it when they get back to a Super Bowl.
That would be, I'm hoping, we're bullish on next year. Huh?
Mothballs on it.
Welcome to PTI. Tony's abandoned you people, so here to co-host is our great friend from the starting lineup on Sirius XM, Mr. Frank Isola.
Energy levels down.
Stay away from my gift vest, by the way. Let's begin with the ESPN report that the Warriors have called the Bucks in an effort to trade for Giannis. The Dubs have reportedly expressed their willingness to make a substantial offer for the former two-time MVP. In addition to players, Golden State can offer up to 4 first-round picks. Frank, what would a deal like this do for each team and for the NBA?
Yeah, if you're Milwaukee, you're getting them out of the conference. This one makes sense because of what you talked about for the draft picks. You include Kuminga so you get a young player. And really, if you're Milwaukee, if you're trading Giannis, you're rebuilding. That's why you heard about the Knicks with Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges. You're just, trying to hold on for dear life if you make that trade. Now, maybe a three-way can get that done, but with the Warriors, Steph Curry's still there, 37 years old. That window, what is it, about 3 years, and it works there. And if you're Milwaukee, Mike, so the picks are 26, 28, 32, and then also 2030, which I think would be top 20 protected. It's another deal that they had with Houston. Those are the picks you're looking at because those are the post-Steph Curry picks.
Right.
And that's when you think
figures to be bad.
That's when the Warriors will fall off a cliff. Yeah. So that one makes a lot of sense.
I'm going to throw another thing in there. I'm looking at this not for Golden State to contend this year, but next year. You notice the name we did not mention so far is Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
If you can get Jimmy back from his current season-long injury, and you go ahead with the Sunshine Boys, and you keep Draymond Green, and you have Jimmy, and you have Steph, and you have Giannis, by the way, the youngest of the quartet at that point. If you have those guys, then you may be looking at something. I don't know that you can hold off this freight train called San Antonio or the defending champs in Oklahoma City or Houston or Denver and the best player in the league in Joker. But if you have that team and you're a Golden State, first of all, you are going to be the interest of the league.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to pay attention. You're going to want to see them. They are must-see TV if they've got that squad, and I hope they can keep Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, and I think what they're trying to do, obviously, is go all in as long as Steph is playing there. They feel like they owe it to him. My only thing would be, how much do you really want to give up for Giannis? I understand he's been a two-time MVP. He's a great player. It looks like athletically he's lost a little bit. He's always hurt a lot. He's only played more than 67 games once in the last 6 years. And right now he's at 30. He might get under that number
again
right now.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's a superstar on a losing team.
Okay.
Now, we talked about the playoff record yesterday. He's 1-9 in the 10 playoff games he's played in.
Suppose he's with those guys. So now you're not surrounding Giannis with dudes. Giannis it's still Steph's team, right? And we've seen Jimmy Butler, if he can be healthy, and by the way, maybe Jimmy, if he doesn't have some wear and tear on that body, he's got one more playoff run in him because he's had several. I think it's worth taking a chance. If you're Giannis,
you want to go there.
What else Giannis got to do?
Watch out for Miami. They could be involved on some level.
You pairing Giannis and Mr. Pat Riley, Coach Riles?
Why not? Bam Adebayo. Maybe Norman Powell. You trade Tyler Heroes from Wisconsin, by the way. All right, let's move on. The Celtics may have to wait longer than they hope to get Jason Tatum back. Chris Haynes reported on NBA TV's The Association that Tatum is out considering sitting out the entire season as he recovers from an Achilles he tore last May. Tatum told ESPN last night, Mike, that he's yet to make a decision. All right, so Mike, is this news a big deal, little deal, or no deal?
Well, even though it sounds like no deal because we don't know, it's a big deal. And Jason Tatum, I don't know who's had the most first place votes without or MVP votes in the top 5 without winning the last 6 years. But Jason Tatum's on the short list, right?
I keep voting for him.
And he's that valuable. He's that great a player. He's that great a teammate. He means that much to the Boston Celtics. And if Tatum is weighing this, he's taking it seriously. So he's basically saying, this team is playing pretty well without me. Do I want to interrupt this? It's so unselfish, by the way.
Yeah.
There's people who know Jason Tatum. There's everything to like about him. The one thing I wonder is, are they going to play with two guys making that much money, $300 million, Tatum and Brown? Or if he doesn't come back this year, are you going to see one of them traded over the summer and then they're never going to play? I think it's worth wondering. I'm not projecting.
Yeah.
But there's been that talk the moment those guys sign those contracts. So I just wonder. I just want to see Tatum back, but not at risk to himself.
So this has been going on for nearly 6 weeks, 2 months now, where everything—
You saw him practice one day, didn't you?
Absolutely, that he's out there working out. Everything seems to be all systems go, and then out of nowhere, here comes this idea that he may sit out the rest of the regular season. I heard he did not have any type of physical setback.
Right.
It's not a mental thing that he feels he needs to get over. He's kind of looking at, well, how would I fit in? You fit in because you're Jason Tatum. And guess what? When you first come back, you're not going to be very good. It happens to every guy that suffers a major injury. It's been 8 months since it happened. You figure if he does come back, it'll be March. It's 10 months. And he thinks of himself. He loved Kobe Bryant. He knows that Kobe Bryant's mentality would be get back as quickly as I can. Yeah. So he wants to do that. The Celtics looked at this year. Everybody up in Boston, they called it was going to be a gap year. Right now, they're 29-18. So they're right there in the
thick of it. They can win the East.
So why wouldn't he come back? And I get the idea that Jaylen Brown is having this unbelievable season. People are talking about him being the MVP race. Peyton Pritchard's been great. Derek White. But come back and maybe start out coming off the bench. Imagine getting Jason Tatum for 20 minutes a night for maybe 10 games.
More than one thing can be true. I hear the case you're making. It's the Kobe Bryant case. It's if we were sitting around talking, or if Kobe was talking to Jason Tatum.
Yep.
This is exactly the case he'd make. But there's something to admire to me about Tatum saying, hold on, I don't want to come in and disrupt. That level of unselfishness is something you don't often see out of truly great players, of which Tatum is.
The only thing I would say, and we saw this with Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, when he was rehabbing, kept coming out before games and working out, and the fans were saying,
oh my God.
Well, if you can do that, why can't you play?
The expectations go crazy.
Yeah, so Jason Tatum's been, and I think you just said the key word, expectations. I think he wants to lower the expectations a little bit. Exactly, because he knows right away he's not going to be that good. Eventually, he'll go back to being Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
You know.
This is a tough one. This is hard. Now to college football and Diego Pavia's height. Vanderbilt's quarterback measured at 5'9" and 7/8 at the Senior Bowl this week, well below the 6 feet that Vandy had listed him. That would make Pavia the shortest quarterback drafted in the modern era. Despite all that, the SEC Player of the Year and Heisman finalist says he's 100% confident he will be drafted. Frank, are you?
I do think he's going to be drafted. To put it into context, Sam Darnold 6'3", Drake May 6'4". But there are guys in the NFL, Kyler Murray, Bryce Young, 5'10", and then Russell Wilson was 5'11". Drew Brees, 6 feet tall.
2 Super Bowl guys on the end of that list.
Yeah, and this is where he's got it, right here in his heart.
This
guy was a winner.
It does look
junior
like
college. He went to Vanderbilt and won 10 games. Yeah. So I get it, how he's going to measure. And, we saw this, you would know this better than anybody, with Doug Flutie back in the day. Is he going to be a starting quarterback right away? Probably not. Could he be a situational quarterback? Could he be a Taysom Hill like they do in New Orleans? Perhaps. He threw for 29 touchdowns. He ran for 10. And when you're that height and you perform at that level, you're a Heisman Trophy finalist, it tells you you're tough physically, mentally, and you got all the confidence in the world.
But it's still not just on you. You got to have a coach who's imaginative.
Yep.
Right? Bold, a guy who's willing to be fired to construct or bring in someone who will bring in an offense who can take advantage of your skills. I don't see that NFL right now.
So you don't think he's going to get drafted?
Oh, I think he's going to get drafted.
Yeah.
I just worry that he's not going to get to a place where he's going to have the kind of bold coach you need to have. What was the coach of the greatest show on turf? Mike Martz.
Yeah.
Right? Even though Martz had a tall 6'4" at least Kurt Warner. But I think of a guy like Martz, a guy with that kind of boldness who'll say, give me that kid, I'll work with him.
All right, you said bold, and I don't want you to yell at me.
What?
What about Sean Payton on Denver?
No.
He had that quarterback he did in New Orleans.
Because he had Russ, and he bad-mouthed him, a guy with what should be 2 Super Bowl rings, and he ran him out of Denver.
And how'd it work out? They made the AFC Championship.
Yeah, how'd it work?
What about Ben Johnson, Chicago?
We got a guy.
I get it. Situational quarterback.
No.
Everyone needs a good backup, Mike.
We got a good
backups
backup
always play.
We got a good backup. I'm going to see if you know who he is during the break.
All right, let's go.
We're taking a break now. But when we come back,
Mike
Sam, we've got football questions for our great friend whose lengthy list of accomplishments Kornheiser always insinuates himself into, Hall of Fame quarterback Steve Young. Steve, as always, thanks for joining us. We're going to start with the Patriots and Drake May because he would be listed as a limited participant if they had actually had a full practice due to a banged-up throwing shoulder. Now, he's got the extra week, Steve. Is the extra week going to do that much? When you hear him listed this way and think of what this feels like, what's your make of it?
It's amazing, Michael, over the years. I was just talking to Christian McCaffrey a minute ago about injuries and like playing 6 days instead of 7 when you're rushed in a playoff game or something. That extra day they feel. You get used to a pattern and your body gets used to a pattern. And so when you get extra time, it makes all the difference, even an extra day, let alone an extra week. You need the extra week in the Super Bowl because you got to take care of everyone who wants tickets. You got to take care of all the media that's twice as much as you got to take care of all that crap. And so that way you can dig. If you didn't have 2 weeks for the Super Bowl back in the day when they had 1 week, it was totally not fair, especially for your body, right? Everyone can get healthy. Not everyone, but a lot of NFL players are used to 7-day kind of health cycles. Get an extra week, they can get super healthy for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Sam Darnold could use that extra week as well. He's going to face a lot of pressure to deliver in this game, Steve. How much weight did you feel to perform when you prepared to face the Chargers in Super Bowl 29, and how did you handle it?
That makes me laugh because, look, I know Sam, if he loses, what they've done this year, they're not going to throw him out of Seattle. They're all going to embrace him and say, look, we can't wait for you to be here another 10 years. If I would have lost, I would have been like, I always say, it's like, you hit the Bay Bridge and you're like on 80, you got Pinole and then the Nut Tree and Vallejo and then Sacramento, then Reno, and then you're gone, bro. Like, don't come back. Don't come back unless you win this football game. So, yeah, it was all that morning when I was over my cereal.
Yeah. If you keep heading on 80, you're going to eventually hit the George Washington Bridge. You performed pretty well. I vaguely remember 6 touchdown passes and an MVP performance. Pretty good. All right, you're an NFC West guy. Can you explain what stands out when you've watched the Seahawks this year?
Well, first of all, the transition, these young players that they've got on defense and what Coach McDonald's done for them, they have that amoeba feeling, like it's all connected and they all have speed. There's 5 guys ran over 20 miles an hour in the season this year. So it's like they have speed, they're connected, they play that kind of smothering defense, zone defense, and they can bring the heat with 4 guys. It is the ultimate weapon in the NFL today when you can bring heat with 4 guys, play that smothering defense, and have great speed. And I think they're just figuring out how good they are. I think it took them 3 or 4 months to figure out just really how good they are, and they are that good. And now now that they figured it out, I think they get more dangerous. I think that's that's the biggest thing about this Super Bowl is that we haven't seen the best of the Seattle Seahawks by far.
We got to go into the topic of the week a little bit. Bill Belichick and Hall of Fame. And I'm going to introduce this by saying I used to vote for 10 years, Steve. I would have voted for Bill Belichick, but I don't remember first ballot being that big a deal all those years. But I'm going to ask you, was it a big deal for you, the whole first ballot notion? And when you think about that vis-a-vis Belichick, what are your thoughts?
I will tell you, being a first ballot Hall of Famer, at quarterback, I mean, I even looked it up. I think there's 14 in history. Wow. It's like I think it has its own meaning. It doesn't take away from anyone who's in the Hall of Fame because it's amazing. It's insanity that anyone played enough football and impressed enough people to think that was okay, that you deserve to be there. So it's a tremendous honor. But I think the first ballot is something. And yeah, but I mean, look, is it everything? No. And it is oddity. I mean, if you told me 5 years ago, Bill Belichick won't go in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot, I'd be like, what did he do? What happened?
So Spygate and that stuff wouldn't have bothered you if you were sitting in that room and Deflategate if you were
I'm
voting?
Sure that was look, I'm sure it was a conversation. I'm sure that people can get overwrought about it, which is fair. But I think how I would have, if I had gotten an argument about it, I would say, look, no matter how much weight you want to put on that, he put that away and then went on and won 4 more Super Bowls. And so I'm a huge second chance kind of guy. I think that's America. Like we people get second chances, they take advantage of it. So I'm not saying it was a second. I'm not saying it's the perfect metaphor. But as far as he qualified, put all that away, and then what did he do since then? He won 4 more Super Bowls on in pure fashion. Yeah. So it's like I could have easily allowed for the mistakes and the foibles with what was accomplished. So hard to you can get an argument about it, but it seems easy for me.
By the way, who was in your Hall of Fame class?
The only living member of my Hall of Fame class was Daniel Marino.
Wow,
ooh,
a good one.
That's pretty good.
So the two of us went in together, and I don't have enough time, but my senior year, high school recruiting trip to Army, West Point, sitting on the sidelines watching a young freshman Pitt quarterback, Dan Marino, throw a 30-yard laser that went right in front of me, like shoom. And I remember thinking, I'm a senior in high school. I'm like, I might not be able to play.
Turns out you were just fine.
And all those years later, we went in the Hall of Fame together, and it just full circle, so pretty cool. But Dan was one of one. So,
Steve, thank you much. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve.
Great story. Great way to go out. We're going to take one last break, but still to come, LeBron gets emotional. Time to get happy, people. Happy 19th birthday, A.J. DeBanza. The BYU freshman is averaging 24 points, 7 boards, 4 assists for 13th ranked Cougs. DeBanza has delivered some performances that make him appear to be the most pro-ready player in all of college basketball. Though Monday night against number 1 Arizona, he was just 6 of 24 from the floor, 1 of 8 from 3, Frank. Now, DeBanza and the Cougs face number 14 Kansas and their star freshman, Darren Peterson, Saturday. The two are currently 1-2 in ESPN's most recent mock draft.
Terrific players. How about Caleb Wilson from North Carolina? Got a
right
little Kevin Garnett in him. DeBanza is from the same town in Boston as Marvin Hagler.
He looks different.
And Rocky Marciano.
He looks
How
different.
about that?
Happy anniversary, Novak Djokovic. On this date 3 years ago, Joker won the Australian Open for the 10th time, beating Stefanos Tsitsipas in 3 sets. That was the last time Joker won in Melbourne. Jannik Sinner took the last 2. Joker and Sinner face each other tonight in the semis. They're sort of overnight.
Yep.
And Carlos Alcaraz faces Alexander Zverev in the other semi. Joker says of the recent dominance by Sinner and Alcaraz, quote, "Are they better right now than me and all the other guys? Yes, they are. But does that mean that I walk out with a white flag? No," close quote. I love that.
He needs 1 more to get 25, which is 1 more than Margaret Court. If he's able to do that,
amazing.
in this tournament,
It would be.
that'd be an amazing
Tony
accomplishment.
hates it, but he's not here to object.
Gotta play great, needs a little luck too.
Just played great tonight.
Yeah.
Happy trails to Champions League elimination for Benfica. The Portuguese club needed a goal in stoppage time against Real Madrid to qualify for the knockout phase of Champions League. Benfica coach Jose Mourinho sent his 6'6" goalkeeper Anatoly Trubin into the pack for a set piece, and Trubin heads it home in the 98th minute to advance Benfica on goal differential. Frank, I know you must have gone nuts.
It was crazy. Real Madrid got 2 players sent off. Somebody's got to mark the goalie, especially the biggest guy out there.
6'6".
So Jose Mourinho calls himself the special one. It was great. During the celebration, he grabbed one of the ball boys, put his arm around him. They were celebrating with the crowd. Really cool moment. That's really cool moment.
That is a pretty good moment.
Yeah.
What drama. We're running out of show. Let's go to the big finish. The Spurs beat the Rockets last night. Is that significant?
It's kind of your team now. They were down 16 in this game and
were.
came all the way back.
In
Terrific
Houston.
win. Really good win. LeBron got emotional during a Cavs tribute to him last night. Your thoughts?
I got emotional. I don't want to see LeBron retire. I understand it may be time, but it could be his last game in Cleveland. I'm just not ready for that. Josh Allen had surgery for a broken bone in his right foot. Is that a big deal?
Yes, it's a big deal. Josh Allen uses his feet. The good thing is he doesn't have to play again until next September. The Aussie Open women's final will be Rybakina and Sabalenka. Your reaction?
It's hard to pick against Sabalenka right now or these
How
last
good did she
year
look
or so.
today? Jess Pegula was the last American.
Last American and gone. Sabalenka. Last one. Crystal Dunn retired from the U.S. Women's National Team. How you going to remember her career?
She's a New Yorker, Mike. I actually saw her play as a youth player, and I saw her play at North Carolina. She was terrific. Won a World Cup, won an Olympic gold medal, terrific career.
New Yorkers can't stay home and play soccer. They got to go to the Carolinas.
UNC's kind of a big program.
Not kind of.
That's why they take all the best from New York. We're out of time. Thanks for watching. I'm Frank Isola.
And I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, knuckleheads. And now.